Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, guess what time it is? Oh my God, everybody, welcome back. Another beautiful Tuesday.
That is fucking right.
Another
Ladies and
beautiful
gentlemen,
Tuesday.
welcome back to Always for Hundreds, the Producer Lounge. I am one of three of your hosts. Caleb, that's David, that's Austin. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
This is our broadcast about music production. We're going to sit here and chat about it. That's all you need to know. Welcome, TikTokers. You can head over to always400.com, find the links to join us on Twitch. Folks, it's episode 111.
Oh, no shit?
Oh, shit.
Dude, you got 111.
Wow, lucky
Look at
me.
that.
It's our 111th birthday.
Wow.
Dude, we're as old as Bilbo Baggins. And we have Mick Jeets with us.
Hello.
Hello.
Shit. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Dude, yeah. It's been fun.
Welcome. Quick first point. One of our local legends here in chat, Meatbag Collector, says that guy has a nice mustache.
Oh my God.
So I
Can't
just like
even
to point
handle
that out
it.
because I'd like
He's
to agree.
not wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Big shout, Meatbag Collector.
Big ups, Meatbag. Welcome, buddy.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to be here. I met Austin at this producer meetup, and of course, Austin was like, "I got this producer podcast," and lo and behold, here we are.
Here we
I'm doing
are.
good.
are.
It's beautiful. Summer just broke here in Denver, so
It did.
Yeah.
excited, sweaty.
Yeah, it kind of,
Dude, so
it
hot.
did just kind of break in the last 2 days. It was like, and now it's 90.
Yep. Yeah, literally tomorrow is the summer solstice. And Go Skate Day, June 21st. Shouts to all the skater homies out there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Hold
not
your
a skating
crystals close.
But wait, what?
I don't know, full moon or something.
Yeah.
Solst-
Tarot
I don't
cards.
know. Yeah. Longest day of the year.
Blood baths.
Yeah, longest day of the year.
Seance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely some of that.
Seance.
Sacrificing goats to make snare skins.
Fire beats,
You
yeah.
know,
snare
fire
skins.
beats.
Oh, right.
Herbal
Yeah,
tonics to help creatives go further.
True.
All the things.
True. Mm-hmm.
Fire dances.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
What
one.
a time. What a time to be on a podcast.
It is.
I know.
This
Sound
is,
And
bathing.
right at 111 and all this is happening?
this
Oh my
is
God.
atypical for us.
Dude, synchronicity.
Folks, I just want to let you know that yes, I am wearing a broadcaster's headset today. However, it's broken and this mic doesn't work. I'm sorry, guys.
You spoiled the illusion? They were
I did.
so convinced.
I know.
That's literally all chat has been
I
talking
know.
about
They
so
thought
far.
this was off.
Yeah. Well, the secret is ruined, guys. At least you know that this shelf and everything back here is 100% real.
Yeah, this
And-
gear is insane.
I know, right?
Wow,
It's
I
just a
cannot
fun little
believe
addition.
this studio. It's out of this world. Honestly, you got the sickest setup here, the stuff in the
thanks.
back. You don't see the lights in front on chat, but they're
I
there.
know, all that over there.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's good, man.
American patronage up here.
Yep. That's right.
Gotta have it.
Stripper pole, obviously.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's for training firefighters, but
Yeah. True.
we host an event. It's fine. It's fine.
Has nothing to do with this podcast.
Yeah, it's a
Obviously.
totally different podcast. So how's production been for you lately?
So it's kind of funny. It's like I actually did make a banger today. It was like a lo-fi
Let's
banger.
go.
Like I just put a filter on at the end and just cut off all the highs, and it was fun to make something lo-fi and simple. But I've been so focused on playing gigs that I've kind of put producing in the corner, and I'm not playing as many gigs coming up, and so I'm really trying to get back into it. So I started with this lo-fi thing, a couple collabs with some friends, some things to get me back in the flow of going ham, going hard.
Beautiful. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you've taken some time off, it takes a minute to kind of get back into the groove.
I just forget all the
Find the
Ableton
flow.
hotkeys. I'm
Yep.
my fingers don't know what to do, and it's so slow. And I do miss being in the flow. I'm getting back to it.
Get stuck in loops a little easier.
Yeah.
Harder to kind of progress things more.
Yeah. It is weird
that
how
shit
fast
sucks.
you always will kind of maintain that how to make a song kind of thing, but the little things like that, it's crazy how fast they fade. Like for
Sure.
me, I didn't make a track like the past like 4 days. I was kind of just like taking like a little mental break, and I came back and it was like even just those 4 days, I was kind of like, oh, I'm just like a little bit more sluggish, like in the way I'm doing everything, and the way I'm writing is like a little weird. I don't know. It's strange.
That
really
is
strange.
a nice little trick to get back in, though, is collabing with friends. Like you have friends who are working,
100%.
and you're like, yo, you got anything that you're kind of not doing anything with that I can kind of fuck around with and see if I can put my hands on it. You
Let me just play with an idea.
Right, that's already there. You don't have to do anything. You can kind of just scroll around, start fucking with sounds, and kind of changing shit a little bit.
And edit a bootleg.
Yeah,
bootleg,
right.
It's really good.
I feel like the muscle memory is one thing, but there's also sort of this like aural sound memory where it's like if you haven't done it for a while, it's easier to not know when you're making the right decisions or the wrong decisions. And so when someone like sends you a half finished track, you're like, oh, I'm an idiot. They already made the decisions. I might just tweak a couple things and see what we come up with. So yeah, still training the ear, training the hotkey fingers, you know, getting back into it, but feeling good. Got some time off of work.
Oh.
So we're going to make a lot of music.
Let's go.
Like taking a vacay or what?
Yeah.
So I work at this school and we get
Oh, I see. Summer break.
Yeah, it's like a summer break. We like work in 6-week increments. It's like a coding boot camp, and so we work in like these 6-week increments with a week off. And so every 6 weeks I get a week off, and I just like make as many songs as I can, just as many songs as I can. Try to not even think about it, just first instinct, and just slam it. Make a bunch of tracks.
Hell
nice.
yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Nice. So you're entering the week. You got a bunch of free time.
Entering the week, a bunch of free time.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's sick. That's
Made
sick.
a banger this morning.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, starting it strong. Apparently.
You got it. Yeah, me and my good friend Take worked on a couple tracks, and so it was like a collab. And he finished off one of them. It was like this drum and bass track. It went like so crazy, and he put some hours into it, and it turned out really well. But the better track from this session was the thing we did in the last 15 minutes, which is how it always goes. You spend like 3 hours making a track, and then you're like, fuck it, let's start over. And we started this new thing, and we're using some like cool plugins, and it came together all really quickly. And so that's what I did today. I ripped that one open.
Nice.
What plugins we talking about?
So this plugin that I love, it's called Soundbox from Native Instruments.
Soundbox, okay.
And what it does is it's like sort of like
Sampler, maybe?
Yeah, it's kind of like a sampler. It's like random chord progressions multiplied with random sounds, and so you get these really like thick, dense chords, plus like that are made of like all these different sounds, plus progressions, and you just play the white keys. You just play the scale of key, or scale of C, and you get all these great chord progressions out of this progression. You get all these like random sounds layered on it, like very Flume-like you know, you get like the percussive, the chord, the bass, and it all comes packaged together in this plugin. And so
interesting.
you just like it's got like dice in the UI, and you just roll the dice, and you get a new set of sounds. You get a new chord progression, and then you can like mix and match the chord progression as you see fit. And so, really cool, different sounding stuff, kind of right off the bat. And so like whenever I'm like, you know, lost for inspiration, I'll just reach for that thing, and I'll just say, give me some chords, give me something to work with, and we'll go.
Yeah, throw some shit at the wall. Dude, I love any plugin that has like a randomized option like that. It always gets me so pumped. Yeah. Just when you're like doing
a little
sound
inspiration
design
machine.
Yeah,
you know?
A little inspiration for a moment, or you're just dicking around. You're like, okay, I'll hit this little dice knob or random knob, see what
Random
happens.
is everything.
Yep. Shout out Melda plugins for that. They're always on top of like every plugin I'm pretty sure they make has a
Shout
randomizer.
out the 303. I don't know how to program a 303. I just hit the random sequence and get a different acid line, and I say, oh, this is the one. Let's go. Like
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's sick.
Yeah, that is sick.
I might be able to help you.
What's going on?
The keyboard isn't working. I don't know where the dongle is.
Uh-oh.
Let me look.
I was just back there.
I feel like it's that meme of like, producers, musicians have this whole box of chords that they've never gotten rid of. I'm the same way. I've got a whole box of chords that I never use that are just in the box. And maybe you should get rid of them because then you could find the dongle or the chord that you need more easily.
Dude, that's exactly
because it's not in the giant box.
Yep. Yeah, dude. Yeah, back there, there's literally like 8 boxes just full of random chords and random bullshit.
Of course, you never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's like...
And so much of that literally came in handy when we were just randomly 2 years ago like, should we do a podcast? We had so many chords and so many just random things. Like, okay, we could actually have a halfway decent setup at first day. You're like, okay, it does come in handy. You just gotta work it. You gotta make it count.
I did this DJ gig and it was like in this like mansion in 5 Points-ish area. And it was like...
Luigi's.
Is that Grant Mansion by chance? Or Luigi's?
I don't know, something you can like Airbnb it. It was cool.
Oh.
Some person's birthday party, but the setup was playing through the house speaker system, which who knows what kind of plugins they had. So I bought all these different cords and adapters to get it work, and of course just brought in like a speakers and just like played through the fucking speakers like you normally would.
Yeah.
But I bought all the randomest chords that I've never used to this day. Like, just
It's hard
randomest
to use
combination.
wild chords.
Yeah.
Like really intense chords can be very hard to like, unless you're just using one.
Wait,
and you're making house music.
are we talking chords or are we talking chords?
Talking chords.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I
I was confused for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Because
I just put my headphones back on.
we
sorry.
were talking about chords. Like chords that you play from that plugin.
From the plug-in.
And then we went to
Then we went to the other chords. It's a producer's podcast. This is what you can expect.
Yeah.
chords
There's a
and
lot of
chords.
Yo, I love this mini meters plugin. Talk about a game changer.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't that
use
shit
this-
sick?
I use this I used to bounce out all
So
my
good.
tracks to Record Box to see them, and then mini meters just does it for you.
Yeah,
and
just
it's
right
like
there.
It's changed everything in my
Having-
workflow.
Yeah.
Visualizers that you can trust is huge.
Right.
Exactly.
It's huge because you don't always have a good room.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to
That's
fucking
my
reference.
thing. I gotta be able to see my kick and my bass, and I see it and I know it'll slap. But when I'm listening to it at my studio, I'm like,
Yeah.
slaps in my studio, but it's gonna be muddy in the club. And so
Right.
mini meters changed I don't have to bounce my shit out all the time.
Yeah.
That's something I want to talk to you about is like, I always go back and forth on my leveling with my kick and bass. Every time I see like a reference track, it's already mastered and tightened up and chonked out, but like you look at it and it seems like their kick, is 0 and then their bass line continues out just at 0. So like when you're making your track, do you have your bass under or do you just fucking send them both or like what's your leveling like with your kick and bass?
Yeah, good question. I'm very like kind of happy-go-lucky with it. Like I think using like mini meters like so I was telling y'all earlier I took this course with Justin J and that kind of unlocked a lot of like little secrets and tips for me.
Yeah. Shout out Justin.
out.
Yeah, we gotta get Justin on the podcast. I feel
That'd be
like
sick.
he'd be so down for this kind of thing.
That'd be cool. Yeah, maybe at some point.
Come on the pod, baby.
We would like that.
Yeah.
And so so to group the kick and the sub bass together and then just compress it, like that's the first step. And then like, if I get a big chunky kick, probably want my bass sitting 6 to 8 decibels underneath it, because when you play on like a giant system, it does not sound like your studio. It doesn't sound like your headphones.
No, it doesn't sound like anything.
Unless you have like a giant subwoofer right there,
Even
and then your neighbors are gonna hate you.
Yeah. The volume, the sheer level is total. Like I have a sub in here, and it's at a club. It's just so loud that there's no way. Like you would have to just sit there with your laptop in the listening position in a club at full blast to like really understand.
And get a bunch
like
of
my
people
dream.
around you.
Yeah, and get a bunch
Right.
of people to stand
Everybody
around
just
you.
come hang out in here real
I'm
quick.
just
fill
I
this
need
space
to
for
I'm gonna
level
mix this
my
track.
sub and kick right now.
That would honestly be so sick.
It would
That's something
be
we've
hella
talked about
fun.
so much. Like, yeah, how much fun would it be if like you could just rent out like 1134 for the day and just use their giant speakers and just like make kicks, make little bass riffs,
And
or
just
something.
make all your friends listen to your demos for
Yeah.
like 6 hours.
Yeah, and it's just the homies
Now
there.
you're like, I'm
Yeah.
not friends with you anymore.
Not just the demos, the old demos.
The
You're like,
old
guys, let's see
demos,
how
dude.
this hears on this system.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
dude.
4K is just like
Yeah, it's
It would
all
be
bad.
interesting.
It would be. It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like though in a mix though, like the kick has to hit. Like the kick has to hit harder than the bass because
yeah.
that's what you want to come through the mix. That's what the speakers are gonna respond to. And so always prioritize the kick. The kick needs to be huger than everything in the song.
Yeah.
And this is where I fail because in my home studio I want it big and bassy, and then I go to the club and I play it and I'm like, this is so muddy, dude.
I
It's all
know.
bass. You can't even hear the kick.
Right. You wanna like trust your ears because that's what everyone says. It's like trust your ears. But yeah, in your home studio, you're like, okay, I'm trusting my ears.
And that's what
Now the
mini
sub's
meters.
really
That's
loud.
what mini meters is sick for, is because I can look and I'm like, oh, that kick is
100%.
huge. The
Yeah.
bass is a little smaller. Let's send it. It's good.
Yep.
It's a little smaller.
Yeah.
It's a little smaller.
let's
That's
go.
my technique. The bass is a little smaller.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like purely visually speaking, you're gonna have like your big kick, and then your bass is just chilling under it
Yes.
a little. Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, it does make sense, like you said, where everything's squashed and all that shit. It kind of ends up being null as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, technically,
Yeah.
especially in like 4 on the floor clubby music and anything really that's pushed, I guess you kind of want you're gonna want your kick the most loudest thing possible, you know?
Yeah, for
Grammar.
sure. There's also that like psychoacoustic concept of like longer is louder. I remember
Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill. Yeah, the three of us went to some
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Bill live podcast thing, like similar to the Justin J one.
Sick.
And he
Yeah, it was much more of a lecture though. Like sit down. We were there for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And he had a whole
A little less
presentation.
free form.
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
was still good. It was really good.
Yeah, still sick. And that was one of the things that like stuck with me over everything. That and the mud pies, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, he was saying louder is longer, and he gave this example of white noise, where he had this like really long white noise loop, and he took just a tiny little chunk, basically like a hi-hat's length, and played it, and it's like, okay, that's comfortable. It's white noise, like it's still,
Ridiculous.
high end and loud as fuck
Right.
on these giant speakers, but it's fine. And then he plays like the full white noise clip, on those giant
And it's
speakers,
huge.
and it sounds like so much, and you're just like,
Right. And the
I should have a white
the
noise
full
button.
one was like 24 decibels quieter
yeah,
than just the quick one. The
Yeah.
quick one was like way, way loud.
yeah. He did some sneaky shit like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And it was the weirdest concept where, so translating that to like a kick and a sub, your kick is going to be the tight little tiny boy, right? And your sub, depending on the track, is usually going to be like a longer one. So
Right.
if you take that concept,
Correct.
louder
Right.
is longer, you're going to
That's
want to turn
beautiful.
down your sub a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this, dude. Fucking our own Alan Watts over here.
God damn.
Sheesh, bro.
The boy's making himself a clip.
Meatbag Collector
Shout out Watts.
says Meatbag Selector.
Selector.
Dude, you should change your name, dude. Meatbag Selector.
Also, is that
Yeah.
A Rizzle Shizzle
I
in the
select
building?
the
What's
meat
up,
bags.
G Thang?
He says the louder you are, the quieter the speaker is. And that makes sense. We all know those people at clubs that still get in your ear and then scream, and then you have to like do one of these. You're like, now my ear itches, dude. I'm wearing earplugs too, and you still made my ear itch.
Dude.
By your just like, you're like, yeah, dude, I'll take a beer. Yeah.
There was a guy like that when we went and saw Hoopla and Mr. Lang. Shout out those boys. It was Hoopla's first set here in Denver.
Shout out Hoopla, dude.
Yeah, he's a homie,
And the other boy.
and he's like a part of that like left field, like tippery,
Fuck
down
yeah.
tempo, like vibey shit. And when he played like his stuff was still hitting, and it was fun and it was a good time, but it was definitely like a chill environment, And there was this one guy the entire night who was like losing his mind and like screaming at the top of his lungs on the drops.
Going
and part of me
through
was like,
some existential crisis of
Right,
some sort.
right.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a lot of drugs.
yeah. And it was great because like, yeah, sure, like you're hyping up the homie, it's great, you're having fun. But he was like basically like almost louder than the speakers, and like
Sure.
every time he was like, oh, it just stood out so much, and it was, I don't know, it was just weird vibe. Made
Right.
me think of that.
Humans,
Humans.
very
man.
loud. They can be very loud.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, I went to this Richard Devine show at the Black Box.
Sick.
He's like this like synthesizer guy, you know, like all the chords
Yeah.
and the bloops and the buttons. And like this is
Modular.
religious music for some people. And so we're at the Black Box in the sound room. They're sending it. And there's these like guys on drugs, you know, big beer. Like there's these guys just laying on the floor. Not being loud, being very
Ew.
quiet.
But also still, yeah.
But also
Ew.
same
Dude.
vibe, but on the other, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
that's-
we had just saw like the latest Tom York band, so we went from like one pretentious type of music to the other, and and so we're just like laughing the whole. We're just, I mean, no offense to these people that like to enjoy the music that way, but I was just like. Man, you're laying in front of the sub at the Black Box. You're having a different experience than I am.
Yeah,
I'm
that's for
drunk,
sure.
and you're probably on mushrooms, and
Yeah.
you know, to each their own.
Just melding with the
I bet
subwoofer
too much
right there.
mushrooms, dude.
Maybe.
That's crazy, dude. See, I've seen
Dude, that
people
one
like,
came.
I know you fucking.
Yuck.
I mean, it is a bud.
That's fair. I've seen people like, you know, put their back to the sub and like become one with the
Oh,
sub in
yeah,
that way. But I've never seen someone just lay down on the dance
There were
floor
people at
in front of the sub.
at
That's insane.
Cervantes back in this is like 2008, 9 that would like crawl into the ports
Oh,
on the
dude.
No.
subs. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
your poor
yeah.
ears.
Yeah. yeah.
It's just inside of it. And they're just like, yep, this is great.
They're like, yeah. And I'm like,
Their hair's
I'm
like
next.
blowing back.
let's go next. No, I never did that.
Let me in there, dudes. Get out of there. I want to try.
I always cared too much about my ears.
I want to see the other metaverses, dude.
Yeah.
I do love the idea, though, of just like setting up in front of a giant sound system and just taking it. I was at this like festival and these like so it's
Yeah.
like it's
100%.
Monday morning of the festival. We're talking Monday 6 a.m. So very very as deep into the festival as you can go. And these people like these four guys, it looked like a funeral procession, except they're all carrying a couch and just put it right in front of the functions, and then it was the party couch. And you're getting blasted by huge sound. And then we're like eating watermelon and grapes. And there's like, you know, shirtless fat dudes. And it's like, you know, it's beautiful. And it's like, so I do respect the setting up and taking the sound.
Yeah.
But wear some plugs.
Definitely wear plugs.
Wear some
wear some
plugs.
plugs.
I don't know how people don't wear earplugs. I have friends my age that don't wear
Yeah.
earplugs. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're fucking stupid.
I mean, I had plugs for a little bit, and one of them got lost somehow, of course. I'm fitted for customs, though. I just need to fucking wait for some
Sick.
money to like do that.
Dude, yeah.
But I can handle most of the time, like all the clubs here in town, they don't
Not
sound
huge.
great.
Yeah.
But they're not too bad. As long as I'm not like right up front or right on the speaker stack, it's fine. Now, the Red Room at Milk Bar was bad for a while. Like, no matter where you stood, the high end was horrible. It sounded so bad in there. And then the last
really?
like several months, somebody went back and was like, why is that boosted? You know? And like fixed it. And so now it sounds fine. But that was like the only room I could
Is that
really like
the-
go in without plugs.
That's
like, didn't feel
true.
concerned.
That's true. Because at first we were like, this room is so
bad.
tinny. It's just like,
so tinny.
oh. And then now
Now it sounds
it's
fine.
pretty fine.
Yeah.
Weird.
They all kind of seem quieter. I don't know if something happened law-wise that all the clubs had to like become quieter. It seems like in the like since maybe the new year, but
kinda
feel
feel
like
that too.
Since later
Yeah.
than that, it's been just a couple decibels quieter.
Yeah.
You've probably been in these clubs more than us. What do you think
Yeah.
about the loudness of the
you
clubs
noticed anything?
recently?
So I just took a trip to Paris and London, and it was amazing just to go see like a whole different part of the world.
Sounds great.
Did
Of
you go
course.
to the discotheques or what?
Yeah, I went clubbing.
Fuck yeah.
I went raving, and there's like,
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
they just are very serious about their raving. There's this
love it.
club in London called Fold, and it's like you get there, and it's like, you know, warehouse district, dingy little thing. And we're walking up the stairs, and we walk in the door, and then there's these shutter doors, and like the shutter doors, like someone went in. And then, you know, the door is like swinging behind them, and I got in front of that door, and my eyelids got peeled back from the wind of the sound. And this was like at like midnight, and it was that loud until 7 a.m.
Yeah, see, that's
Even
better.
if there was 10 people or if there was 600 people,
That's what I'm
and,
talking about.
and they were just going full send. It was like, not the type of club where you go and talk to your friends. And, you know, I love Denver. You go to clubs in Denver, though. You're trying to get fucked up. You're trying to talk to your friends. You go to a club over there, and it's like your eyeballs are peeled back.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want people not to be able to talk to me.
I'm kind of down with that too. It's kind of
Exactly.
sick.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here even for like networking. It's like, let's go to the smoking area and we
Right.
can chat. But
Right.
like,
Take a little ear break.
yeah, like
breathe for a
I'm
sec.
trying to fucking notice my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
and my head is down.
Right.
And I'm going hard. Don't just immediately talk in my ear. I fuck that shit. And it is quiet enough where I can hear them. And it's like, it's kind of accepted. And you can hear people talking. There's like the whole noise floor.
The noise floor, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Absurd compared to like what I remember as a kid. What I remember as a kid at like Red Rocks before Bass Nectar fucking ruined it. It was so loud. It was so sick. But
God damn, I never saw it that way.
yeah,
I've heard the stories.
Beta
Yep.
Nectar ruined it.
Beta
Damn.
nectar.
Beta nectar. Jesus.
Way to go, Lauren. Shout out, Lauren.
Shout out to our hero.
But yeah, that is interesting that across the pond, the speakers are just so loud.
That is interesting.
That makes me
Yeah, I
I
happy.
never knew
love
that.
to hear that.
That makes me happy
I
that
love
they're
to
keeping
hear
it
that.
Yeah.
pure.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
And
they're
me,
boosting
whenever I
it.
make it over there to just fucking
Oh, it's worth it. You should do it.
roll that shit.
ASAP. We were at this like more of a disco in Paris, and the sound wasn't super loud there. First of all, the French disco music is totally different from disco that I ever perceived in America. You know, it's very worldly, very Latin influenced, very electro.
Nice.
It's a very cool disco. The cool thing about that club is there's just it's a basement club, and there's a smoking room right in the middle of the basement. We're talking about a room. There's no outside.
Yeah.
There's no ventilation.
No ventilation.
Everyone is just smoking.
Oh.
So you're smoking like cigarettes
Sick.
secondhand while you're smoking your first-hand cigarette,
Yeah.
and then you're chain smoking first-hand cigarettes with the others. And so like
Stop making me like the French right now, dude.
we were like sick. We like left and we were like sick because it's
I'm
just like
sure,
I
yeah.
felt like I
believe
smoked
it.
40 cigarettes, and it's like, well, we smoked like 5
Yeah, I've
each,
heard-
and then we met one French person that could talk to us, and then we just hung out in there the whole time between disco sessions, and so that was cool. That was cool. They like rolling their own cigarettes. That's
Oh.
that's a cool way to do it.
That
I
is
used
that
to
is
roll
fun
for a
one.
long time.
Yeah. Yeah, you were into that.
Same.
I think I had like a little phase because a lot of people around here were doing it. But then I'm a very lazy person in a lot of ways.
My cousin
I was
was
just
a
like, no,
hobo.
I can't do this.
So I learned how to roll cigarettes.
A homo?
Hobo.
Oh, okay. I
Hobo,
was
dude.
like,
Bro.
Jeez. Why'd
No,
your mind
It's like,
get
is
that?
that
Hashtag
a-
no hobo,
Oh.
dude.
I get it that it's Pride Month. It makes sense that your head was there.
yeah,
I saw that.
that's cool.
Can't-
I
though.
couldn't figure out which one to do, so I bailed.
That's fair. That's fair. That's cool. There was a fun sound design trick I've been playing around with lately. It's not
Go
even
on.
really like a trick. I don't know. It's just like I've been really excited on just playing with like the fundamental like first 7 harmonics of a bass. And just like pushing nodes and pulling nodes and doing it especially into distortion. Like a huge thing we've talked about on the podcast is you boost one of your harmonics and you create like a whole tone up above. So when I was kicking it with John last time, we were like, oh, what if we just like build a rack where in phase plant, let's say it's 7 oscillators and each oscillator is dedicated to like the first harmonic, second harmonic, third, fourth, fifth, etc.
Nice.
Whatever you want it to be. Or you could go odds. You know, you could square wave and be like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9,
Right.
and send it. And that's really cool because we made like just one really long like 16 bar note, and then you can take each oscillator's volume and just give it like some fun little up and downs through your giant like
Automation.
MIDI note kind of thing. Yeah. And of course into distortion. And when you have all those little harmonics bouncing all over, you just get all these like weird warps of the tone.
Right, because each
Ooh.
one's as like the one that was loudest is done hitting the distortion unit, you get like the ring back.
Exactly.
And then the next one hits the distortion, so then you get its
Exactly.
ring starting. Yeah, you get a bunch
and
of
then,
like
and then
sick.
sometimes maybe
Interesting.
2 of them hit at once and you get a slightly different tone.
right.
Yeah, like 3 are coming in at once and then like
kinda
going
fun.
down.
Right.
Like, dude, it's crazy how like organic and like I don't know, it's just like a re-space kind of concept and just like this fun organic like movement thing. And it's
Fun.
really, really like I don't want to say it's like hard to control because
It's
it's like
a
a simple concept, you know?
Yeah.
But like actually like making it do a thing in a way because you have like so many options doing it on a beat. Like everything you do is kind of just cool, but then you're like,
Right.
how do I just like what do I do? How do I make something with
It's
this?
a snake base.
It's a snake base. That's it.
The
There we go.
snake.
Is that the name for it?
Snake
I don't know.
base,
It's
dude.
a snake base.
The 7 harmonic snaker.
Yeah, I love that idea. I would put randoms on all the oscillators and have them just
Yep.
fucking doing random shit.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was one of the
Bitwig 5 is being teased
Devised.
at the moment,
Oh.
and they have drawable waveform LFO modulators in there.
About to lose my mind.
Oh.
I've been trying to get the beta and I haven't got it yet.
Is it going to be like a free grid type thing, or is it going to be like a 16th grid where you can like just kind of drop custom
you'll
shapes?
be able
or-
to
I think it's
control
either
the
or.
speed.
Yeah, it's
Either
like
or?
you can snap or you can
yeah.
whatever.
for sure.
And then,
Yeah.
you can get free or sync probably.
And it has like a smoothness
Very cool.
adjustment, so you can kind of modulate
right.
it.
Oh yeah, do that in tandem.
Because modulating LFOs is kind of fucking annoying to try and figure out a lot of the time.
Yeah, it can be
Unless
pain
you're
the ass.
in Phase Plant,
That's
which
true.
it has that capability.
Shout out Kilohertz. Go ahead and give us a sponsor whenever you're ready, Kilohertz.
I know, right? Have you ever played with that concept though of just like pushing little harmonics into distortion? Have you ever fucked around with that?
Kind of. I think, I think the thing I can relate it to most recently is, kind of having like a very distorted bass and some long tails. And then, like when the bass notes play together, or like the tail plays when you're just starting one, you kind of get this like nasty, gnarly, almost like doubled up sound disturbance. And like, I was like, okay, we're going to clean this up. We're going to quantize this. We're going to fix it. And then I did. And I was like, actually, no, like these in between moments that really like punch through kind of make the whole personality of this, like this idea. And so to like, let those harmonics kind of play with each other and kind of like fight against each other, almost like it can work. If it works, it works.
Yeah, right. It's just a little more like organic and like fucked up. It's like,
fucked up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Gnarly.
Yeah, like if you're, I don't know, like playing a guitar or something, you pluck a string, like the harmonics are doing weird, wavy
Well, not only
randomness
that,
every
but
time.
good luck trying to completely mute a string while you play another one 100%.
Oh, sure.
Like,
you
there's
get it
gonna
just
be,
a little
there's
bit.
gonna be wash of the different harmonics through each note played kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially on bass, like doom ba doom doom doom. Like it's not boom 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 boom. Like it's
Right.
fucking
It
very
flows,
fucking
it's smooth.
Yeah.
And those overlaps, timing them right is a part of the groove.
That's the art. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a part of the fucking vibe that the bassist is trying to do.
Yeah, dude.
Like
That's why I think there's like so much potential in that like concept of literally just controlling every sine wave in your bass sound, I've only done it with like the first little chunk,
The exact
Good luck.
opposite idea.
No, I think
Control
it's
everything.
Absolute control versus the
I guess
tails
that's right.
affect things.
But then that's why there's so much potential, is because you can kind of control a little bit more of like what happens like with the guitar.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, right.
You're
You
right,
get to, And it's hard because like it's so much more fucking work because you're literally just it's like the most fucking annoying like
Well, yeah, it's like
bro technical like
Yeah.
Like meticulous.
meticulous tedious
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna make my own bread. I'm gonna grow my own wheat.
Exactly. It's literally
Like,
that. Yeah.
Fucking
But if
Down.
you grow that wheat though,
that wheat's gonna be good.
that wheat's
dude.
gonna be dang.
Not only
good.
Yeah.
that, you can
Like,
make beer with that
You
wheat
can
too.
fucking-
Son.
Oh yeah, goddamn right.
Shit. That
Right.
bread maker's fucked. He
It's
ain't
got
making
more than
beer.
one use.
Look, I'm on both sides of this coin. I feel like typically I would suggest chopping your tails on your bases.
Right.
For the most part, you're going to get the best result if you do that. But if you're fucking with some shit and the tails got bleeding in and you're like, this is sick,
Right.
then
It's
who
all,
gives a fuck at that point?
Yeah, it's so situational.
Yes.
Our entire existence, like
Yeah. You're just making
you
taste
have
choices.
Yeah, you have to know the rules so that you can break them. Classic trope, but
It's a reason it's a trope.
it rings 100% true when you're like, oh, this could mud things up, but then you're like, well, technically I don't have a chord or anything playing in this muddy area,
Right.
so it can take up that entire spectrum for that one moment, and it's not going to harm anything, and it kind
True.
of adds to the groove and this and that technically is jazz. Jazz is the accidentals in music being embraced.
Is jazz, baby.
So therefore, basically everything since
You know,
jazz was
jazz.
created.
There it is.
This is the moment you've been waiting for.
Sorry.
This is it. This is the moment.
It's the moment you've been waiting for.
Jazz.
Yes, we are back to everything is jazz meatbag. Meatbag selector.
Selecta.
I appreciate you for that, meatbag.
Yes.
Paying attention over here.
Yeah, he's on the ball.
He's in there. He's in there.
He's on the ball or in the ball.
Hand the ball around the ball.
Yeah.
He is the ball.
Up the ball.
Up the
Yeah.
ball.
He's got the
You
ball.
want a
Got the
refund? Listen, read the fine print, buddy.
What?
So, meta transients,
Oh, are we actually doing this?
guys.
What's
That's
that?
like that kind of transient that's
Meta
like
transient.
in your city, but also not in your
I don't
city.
know. I like.
Wait, are we not talking about homeless people?
No, we're not talking about transients in that form of way.
Okay. my bad.
However, I like the idea of the bleeding, cutting edge of electronic music because it's already the bleeding, cutting edge of like music and things like that. And I like any topic that has to do with like what's the next like thing in this kind of
Yeah.
space, like the snake bass. Like, whoa, like what the fuck? What kind of sounds does that make? And like how can you apply that to a groove? And would it make a new genre? Like how would you fucking like all that kind of shit is fucking neat. So it's like the cutting edge of some shit. Like what can we do, for example, like transients? Like I remember
that.
I remember watching a video by Bill not too long ago where he's like, you want a cool transient? Guess what? We're in a DAW. You can just cut out your old transient and put in a hi-hat transient over your kick. It doesn't
Splice
matter.
it in.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
revolutionary.
was like, fuck me. You can't just kind of do whatever, especially once it's an audio, like just put a new sample over that. Doesn't really matter.
I remember seeing someone do a similar thing where it's like they took a snare transient and put it on their kick.
Right.
And I was like, no, you're breaking the rules.
Right,
What are
right.
you doing? And then, I don't know. It was like just some weird dumb thing where I was like, you can do that. It's
Right.
like, that's just cool.
What-
It's just a transient. Like it's not inherently anything.
Right, but things like that, I feel like hit the domino that end up like making hyperpop or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
Like people didn't like things heavily
Sure.
distorted or whatever, and then somebody was just like, I kind of want the vocals just absolutely
Smashed.
thrown into trash too, like there's no tomorrow. And they're like, okay, multiband on and moving. They're like, yeah, and it's and they're like sick, and then everybody who was a kid
this is
during
fire, dude.
That's
COVID
so sick, dude.
and it was really angry was like, yes, I identify with this.
Yeah.
And boom, hyperpop because
Right.
of like one little decision that sparked a fire or whatever.
Yeah. I think
That shit's cool as fuck.
I forget which rapper it was. I think it was XXX Tentacion. Someone like in that kind of crew. They were literally like his engineer was just distorting the fuck out of the master. Like clipping the
I love
living-
doing that shit.
I know, it's so
Same.
good. It's so good,
Same.
right? It's so good. And especially like in hip hop, like I don't know much about hip hop, so I can't speak, but it seems like he was like kind of the first guy to like really just be like, fuck you, we're gonna like just like ruin this master, you know? And just
Right.
fucking crank shit into it. And people loved it. Like, he's huge. So I don't know.
Right. And that can spawn entire new facets.
Yeah.
So, back to the topic.
So
What's the bleeding edge? What's something that you do? I'll go first. That's kind of in this vein of something that you're like, I'm trying this thing.
putting us on the
I
spot.
haven't really
Let's
seen
go.
anybody do or something, or maybe I've only seen a couple people do, and I'm trying to dabble in it,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Mine's gonna be obvious.
Then go.
No, you go.
I'm still formulating
Okay.
how I'm gonna phrase it because I'm
Word. So
grasping at straws here.
the thing I love that you guys know I love, which isn't like the most unique thing, like people are doing it, but you don't see it often. But this idea of like the squishy bass,
Oh, okay.
or like the organic, like sloppy, fucking watery. I like to call it squishy because I just think
Watery?
that's hilarious. Yeah, the like
Almost worse than
liquid,
moist. Like, it's watery.
watery, moist,
Ugh.
drippy, fucking.
Imagine if she
gooey.
said that one time.
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty
watery.
watery right now.
Pretty watery, babe. We should take this.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I hope Dallas is watching. That'd be great.
Dallas is puddled right now. She's.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry, Dallas. I'm sorry. Forgive me for that one.
Jesus.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
no,
It's a
but
good show.
that concept of just like it's such a weird thing to like explore as an artist because it's like it's just a weird sound, you know, and especially like trying to use something like that in like a music sense. Like it takes a fucking absolutely insane person to commit to like I'm just gonna do this.
Right.
You know, it takes
For now.
For now, sure.
Until like it starts, you do it enough and you make it
It's the
sound good
next big
enough.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
And snails.
And-
Yeah.
Right. And then there's, in 5 years, there's YouTube videos that are like, how to sound like Aznadel. And it's like,
Dude,
trying
I
to figure
can't
it out.
wait till that.
I know, dude.
I feel like if you get one of those videos, you made it. You made it. Yeah.
100%.
Like I hope that pops up one day. I'm just scrolling through YouTube and I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There's
that'd
the
be
thing.
the shit, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, your squishy basses.
Yeah, squishy bass. That's one like, you know, completely like kind of untapped thing in music. you know?
Right.
I could never ever imagine that be like becoming like a pop thing, like
Right.
like Lady Gaga using squishy bass in her track. Maybe. You never know.
Right.
You never know. People have done some weird shit, but I don't know.
So-
First thing that came to my mind.
I'll go next since I was supposed to go first. Just the evolution of the wub. Or
I love
Yes.
wubs.
not necessarily the wobble. The wobble is its own thing and can exist on its own because it's just fun and good. It doesn't need to be improved on. But just the basic, excuse me, the basic wub in most tracks is an FM wub, and it's pretty basic. Like there's some variations, but like every time I try and make a wub, I'm like, all right, what's the next thing? Like add a couple more oscillators, FM differently, like try and do a bunch of different things to like see what the next, and like really fine tune the sense of the FM, like really try and find those little hidden gems because everybody's sweeping like, you know, what if you just go really slow? What happens, you know? Because a lot of times it'll grab an like it'll grab some phase and it just sings, and you're like, don't touch it, you know? But a lot of times that's still kind of basic. You know, I'm still digging for like what is the next fucking great wub, and I don't know. But
It's a serum preset, and then you just change the LFO. That's how I love my wubs.
That's what it is.
Nice. Yeah.
Something I've been like super getting into, and I was like, so yeah, I was in the UK and was just like walking down the street, and who do I see but this dude that I've made a song with? I've never met this person. I've never met this person live in person. We had only like met on
what?
Zoom, and he was like walking down the street.
IRL, dude.
No
And I
fucking
thought he was
way.
gonna come beat me up because he was like running at me and gave me a big hug, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like this is how you get stabbed in London. But it was my friend Dusty Dan, and he showed me something that was definitely not groundbreaking, but like to you know, whether you're playing with synthesizers or VSTs or MIDI, but he just bounces everything down to audio and starts fucking with it. That little Ableton Aero transient thing.
Yeah.
Everything he does, he'll just put it in there and he'll just pull it back and push it up and kind of try to find the sweet spots. And that was mind blowing to me because I was just like, I just press a couple notes and I say it's good, but to take that extra step into like just to shape it more, to commit and then to shape it more and to be intentional about it. Yeah. I was like, damn, I'm like stupid. I never figured this out myself. Thanks, Dusty Dan.
Shout out Dusty Dan. Let's go.
Yeah, we preach the hell out of committing and bouncing down to audio because it's a whole. Scary the moment you do it, there's a whole other level. Now you're like, it's like you've gone from 2D to 3D. Now you can like continue fucking, and a whole new level of possibilities are there. With, even just chopping, like a lot of times I'll have a bass line that I'm like, let me just flatten it real quick, just because it's easier for me to like chop things, reverse them.
And you can see it kind of like that mini meter shit too. Like you can see what the sound is actually doing.
It's a little bit more manageable than just a bunch of blocks.
True.
Right.
It's like you're playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Or the new Zelda.
Oh yeah. Damn. And like I'm sure in theory you could produce those sounds with the synth, but like it's so much harder. Like you can just make your cool sound, flatten it, start stretching it, playing with it.
There's another level when you flatten it because you can always get so complicated with MIDI. Yeah. But then the moment you flatten it, it always it always allows for a new level of creativity with that sound, no matter how complex it is. It's always gonna level it up.
Yeah.
Big ups on that.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been playing with a lot of like just trying to find ways to make my sounds just never really the same in any given moment. So using, as I always say, a lot of randomizing modulation on as many things as I can kind of find. And just like minor, but like, yeah, I think shit just sounds better when it is just never quite the same every single fucking time. And then you can make a loop, of a moment that has something like that. Once you print it to audio, now it is the same every time. And then that becomes like a nice quality of that moment. But when you're having it kind of doing a slightly different thing every single time is really nice.
Yeah, it's like the evolution of sampling, basically. You're just making a sample that you then get to take all the fucked up sauce of it and loop that fucked up sauce.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least in that regard.
Yeah, and then you could chop that up and then print it again and do that again.
Yeah.
Which is a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think like things being more organic in general, as far as like they're not the same every single time. And it's just tedious. So it's annoying. So most people aren't going to do it.
I mean, it is if you're in Ableton.
Damn, Ableton Slam.
It's pretty fucking easy.
True.
Nick,
True.
Is that something you put a lot of focus on, is like that like subtle organic evolution where everything is kind of different? Do you play with that a lot? Do you think that's like important?
Yeah, I think it's important. Do I do it? Probably not. Like my songs are so loopy, I think.
That's okay. That's fair. Yeah.
But I think there's ways to sort of emulate that flow by just barely shifting a MIDI note, or not quantizing a certain take. Like you can sort of emulate it, and then you find some automation tools to it, and automate things as your ear hears them. Don't just say, oh, this is a curve here. Say, oh, let's be intentional. Let's make it dip and go up and then dip again, So I think there's ways that you can recreate that intentionally. And,
totally.
But when I'm like playing with my synthesizers, I do think that's where you can get some like of that unintentional organicness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that shit. The unintentional shit is
Yeah.
what I look for.
The happy
always.
accidents, exactly.
Happy accidents.
Yeah, that is the
I found
song.
I found a MIDI. It's called Echo. It's a MIDI, whatever, like a modulator. Well,
right.
whatever they call it, a note, something in Bitwig.
Yeah, it's
but
like
it
a
basically it's doing some sort of a delay of the MIDI note itself,
Whoa.
and then
Yeah, it's like a beat repeat in Ableton, but it's just for MIDI.
right,
Sick.
yeah, it's doing some kind of weird MIDI thing, and then I applied a randomizer to the time of the MIDI delay thing that it's doing, and it was fun to just put a pretty simple bass line in and then have it do weird little tricks and shit on it, and the bass line just kind of goes, and it mostly sounds like it's supposed to, but then there's these weird random notes popping in and out of it, and it's really fun.
I'll do that kind of stuff with like vocal chops to take a vocal take, and in Ableton you put it in like the splicer or the sampler, and then just randomize which little snippets of the vocal you get, and, and you like get these little pops of greatness out of these totally random. You know, you could be like a 3-minute vocal take, but then you do these little pops, and you get the highs and the lows and the quiets, and it all just comes together like so organically. And like, yeah, some of the best like club music comes from these fucked up chops that you couldn't think of humanly. You know,
Right.
you can just ask your computer to do it, and it's so cool.
Yeah,
is
I
so
mean,
cool.
electronic music is very much about letting the computer do the work for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Like if you want
Don't
it to
fight it.
sound like if you come from a musical background, you've got to fucking kind of put that musicalness a little bit on the side to like get in touch with your more computery nerd self.
Totally.
Because that's where the music starts to sound like techno. You know,
Right.
you're just gonna sound like shitty songwriter music if you're just like making songs in
Right.
with like synths and like
Right.
Yeah,
It's like more
it's
pretty
bedroom
boring.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Stock
different-
music.
or it's good, like whatever.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
depends.
it could also be good.
I like
yeah.
that stuff too. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
techno, house music, that
Yeah.
kind of shit, you want to get in touch with your loop.
Dance
The loop.
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be. I mean, even like disco. They just fucking the verse just loops,
Yeah.
and then the chorus just loops,
Yeah.
and then the verse loops again.
Hip hop.
Yep.
Yeah, even though I wouldn't even consider that dance music, but yeah.
Oh, there's kind of. Oh, can we go down that little tangent real quick? Because this is something I've talked about with AT and AC a bunch before, as like what technically defines a dance track. Actually, I think we talked about it on the pod because we brought up that map that one time. We should bring that up again to show Mick Jeets if you haven't seen it.
Well,
but
it's-
I want your thoughts.
It's like look at like Jersey Club is a perfect mix of dance music and hip hop, and it's like you know a perfect blend, but it's also the best of both worlds. Where you have this repetitive beat, this sort of hypnotic beat, but then you also have this like hyphy vocal element, sort of this party music vibe to it. And so I think they come from the same place, which is synthesizers and sequencers, and they diverged, but I think like, you know, Jersey Club, Baltimore Club, it's kind of like coming back together. And like, I mean, you see what like Unique is doing out there, and it's so hip hop, but it's also so dance music. And
I don't know, Unique.
Oh, she said Unique
yeah.
with a 3 at the end.
Sick.
It's Unique, but then the E is a
Yeah.
3. I think
I'll
there's
have to check her
an
out.
extra I in there. Yeah, I think Jersey Club kind of shows what these two similar ideas look like when it's coming back together.
Oh, sick. I don't really know Jersey Club either. Is that kind of like ghetto tech, where it's got the,
It's like it's you know
It's breaks.
you know Little John.
okay.
It's shot. It's that beat.
Oh,
Instead of 4 on the
okay.
floor, it's 1 2 1 2
look
3
at-
4 1
Yeah.
2
What a
1 2
great
3 4.
What a great
Okay.
ass representation.
I know. Let's go.
That's
yeah.
whenever I want to make a
Anybody
Jersey
who
Club
hears
song,
that.
I go shot, and then I got a Jersey Club banger, and it's
go.
like that easy.
And it's still like 130-ish, like dance house tempo.
yeah, a
but-
lot of it goes fast, but then a lot of it's based in like 130, 140.
Oh,
Interesting.
This is a different one.
Oh, this is a different one.
I don't know where that one is.
Yeah.
I
What
can't
is
find
World Music Map Music fucking
It's all good. I don't really know how to define.
I thought this was it, but nothing's here.
I feel like dance music is just dancey, like meant for DJs kind of music. Would be the way I'd describe it. I imagine hip hop falls under that category in some worlds.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I think from like a production standpoint, they have a lot more in similar than from like a utility standpoint.
Sure.
Because like producing hip hop or dance music, you know, it's loops, it's beats, it's sequences, but the audience is very the place in which it gets played. Granted, that's why when it's all in the club. That's where Jersey Club comes into play. You know, that's the blending.
I guess hip hop was played in clubs.
Yeah,
still
is.
Yeah, I mean it still is. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends on like. I wouldn't necessarily consider backpack rap dance music. Like, I wouldn't consider atmosphere dance music.
Sure.
Like, it's hip hop, but that's not. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've been to an atmosphere show.
Yeah.
And there's dancing happening, but mostly everybody's just like, yeah, that's my father. You know, and they're just like, we're repeating the fucking words kind of shit.
And see, that's where I would consider like most genres are kind of just dance music because it does make you dance.
Right. I mean, that's the point of music to some degree.
Yeah. Right.
Not classical.
And that's the thing, right?
But that's.
I do not get down to some classical.
Some classical.
But that's kind of the difference. That classical is almost more of an IDM kind of thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Because it's
dun, dun, dun.
it's under like the prog kind of flag where like Dream Theater and Rush, like you're you're listening. You're sitting there listening the whole time. It's listening music. It's not dance music. Even though you listen to dance music, but like you don't have to be present to listen to it. But I'm not going to be at a party where there's a bunch of people talking and be like, I'm throwing on some Dream Theater, guys. You want to vibe or what?
Or like opera.
Yeah. Or like fucking Meatloaf. Like it's just
Meatloaf.
Yeah, that's shit. You gotta like sit down and you're like listening to it. You're sitting there and you're like, this is a 7-minute song. It's a ballad. Yeah. It's intense. There's lots of technical things happening.
Yeah.
And it's produced really well. I'm gonna listen to it on my $7,000 speakers.
All right.
Like slightly different than dance music.
But real quick, type in like map of all genres connected or something. I think that's what we typed in the first time to find it. Because this would be a fun thing to just bring up on the pod again.
I'm relatively bored by the conversation, to be honest. It's like
what is dance music?
Yeah, it's like why care about labeling something dance music?
It's got to be this one. It's just fucked.
This website's
really?
broken.
They just. What if you hit the X on it? What is that called? What is the website called?
Musicmap.info.
Oh, that sounds about right. Hit the little on the top right of the thing.
Nothing works.
Nothing? Damn, that's a shame.
It's all good. Go back and look through our portfolio.
Yeah, try and find that.
Shit tons of fucking episodes and find it.
It's so cool. Oh, it's kind of like this, but it looks way, way, way better.
This is a shit.
That's very long.
That's horrible.
That one's fucking intense.
Oh, that's hilarious. I follow a guy on TikTok who's like going through all of these.
That's Klappa. You guys want to know what 8D is?
What is 8D?
There's only one song in that genre.
8D is just everything that's really shitty MP3 quality.
Really?
I don't know.
I know, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Man, it's just raked. The whole top end has just been clawed to existence.
Right.
So that stereo
just giant
field is
nodes
very strange.
missing and shit. It's hilarious. Slowcore. Ambient low. Oh my! We can't get
Nobody
sucked
can.
I know we're gonna get sucked into that.
All night, yeah.
So,
I got this for you whenever.
Round.
I think it's about that time.
Yeah, we're about ready for the.
All right, let's do it.
The last call. The last call is a special segment.
I'm ready.
Is that what we're calling it now? Last call?
I don't know. It's the thing that happens at the end. No,
we're calling it the special segment.
Last call is the rapid fire round.
Right, the lightning round.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or as it's now known, the special segment.
The special segment.
Still called rapid fire.
So
it's never called lightning round.
Chat, you already know the drill, but real quick, Caleb's gonna read off a bunch of questions. Chat, feel free to put your answers in, and then we'll just go around the table. Just say like first thing that comes to your mind. We don't have to go super in depth unless you want to.
If it's your favorite,
just lightning round of questions.
If the question has to do with the favorite, it doesn't have to be the favorite.
Yeah. If it's a favorite, it's whatever.
Yeah.
We're not
Are
gonna
you
hold
ready?
to it.
Ready.
Let's go.
ready.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. That was the first.
Is Chris
That was
Angel
the
here?
first. That was the first
Yes.
question.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We nailed that one.
Staccato bass or legato bass? Now, is that in making or do you like listening?
You mean like
Guess
there's
that's up
space
to
between
you?
notes or no space between notes?
Yeah. Long notes or short notes?
I love it when a track just has, quarter note bass notes playing through the whole measures. Yeah, exactly. So
Let's go. Let's go.
Bet.
Yeah.
I agree. Staccato.
Staccato. Yeah.
Okay.
Staccato. Fuck, restraint popping into the chat for a
Yeah,
quick.
Johnny
what's up,
boy.
Restraint?
Hey, boy.
Staccato all day. That's where you get bounce.
Meatbags.
That's where the funk is.
That's where
those
the funk
those
is.
short little poppy notes.
Yeah, the little
exactly.
All right. Do you produce loud or quiet
Oh.
on average? Not like I only produce
From
quiet,
your
right.
listening position.
Right.
Are you turning the speakers up or are you keeping them quiet? Or middle?
Bangersonly.com. Just send it.
Pretty loud. Pretty loud myself.
Fingers out. Yeah, you'll crank it. I feel like I'm typically
John
pretty
does
quiet.
way too loud.
Yeah, I'm also quiet.
Yeah.
I'm also loud.
John, you're loud as fuck nonstop. It's crazy. And you too. You guys send it.
Wub, wobble, or womp? Wub and womp are like the same thing.
Dude, they're different. Different name, dude. They're clearly different.
I
What
think
did
it's
you
got a
say?
wub. I think it's got to go with the wubs. The wub wub. Just a little
Let's
couple of
go.
those in any track. I'm sold. I'm playing it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
fair.
I'm going to go womp.
I'm going wub.
Ooh.
I'll also go wub.
Oh, 3 wubs in a womp?
Damn.
3 wubs on womp.
Wiggle.
John goes with a wiggle, of course. That was not an
A
option,
wiggle.
John.
Oh, I should have put
Classic
wiggle.
Was
Classic.
not an option.
Classic John. I'll pick E. It's A, B, or C. Favorite subgenre of house?
Oh.
I mean, UK garage, like that's the
Oh,
that's
that's a good
the
one.
hot shit. Throw
Okay.
throw some swing on it. It's got the wubs in it. Yeah,
Yep.
love that UK garage sound.
It's good. It's good.
Genre of
The garage.
I say bass house.
Okay,
Fuck yeah.
Maybe big room. I like big room a lot.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I
Now
like
we're
big
getting
room.
into some.
I have no idea how to answer this question.
We talk about this piano though, right? That's kind of house music.
Yeah, but I'm
isn't it?
talking more
We're
like.
talking house music.
Yeah, like it
Okay.
has like Chicago house, gospel house, Afro house,
UKG baby.
garage.
UKG,
works.
let's go.
I might go UKG too, just for the lack of having
Okay.
a.
Your
I'm
mom's
gonna-
house.
I'm gonna have a funny Nero house.
Wow.
Euro house.
I'm gonna go with Stutter House.
Oh, Stutter House is
For
sick.
fun.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
because it's apparently the hot shit. I don't
I know,
understand.
dude, it's-
Everybody's just like, it's so cool. I'm like, they put a fucking gate on a thing. Like, what? What? It's not the most revolutionary thing. It's a gate.
Hasn't
big
Psytrance
right
been
now,
doing
though.
that?
Yeah, Psytrance
Like,
and trance have been doing that since like
Yeah,
everyone was in
Psytrance, that's a good
diapers.
one.
yeah.
Psytrance is so good. But that's trance.
Everyone's like 16th notes, dude.
Favorite VST.
My favorite house music, drum and bass.
That's very broad. Is
Was
this
it
like
favorite VST?
Is this like third party?
Yeah, favorite third party
Okay.
plugin.
Okay.
What? How about we say
Yeah. In what realm?
go to?
No, just any. I thought about making it more
Favorite or
specific, but we've
go-to?
already kind of done that. Just favorite any.
Favorite. I don't have a favorite VST.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't either. I don't. It depends on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, those
Wiener
like those,
fattener.
those serum wubs are just for
Okay.
talking wubs. Like just
Serum.
the serum is how I make them. So
Yep,
The
yep.
for
serum.
lack of a
Alright.
better VST.
All right, there you go.
Serum.
That's a good one.
I'll go phase plant in that vein.
Okay. I'm gonna go Black Box as
choosing.
for the huge.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's my favorite distortion unit.
I like Mishby.
Mishby.
I like Nani.
Okay. Nani's pretty great.
Yeah, just for fun ones. Tits.
Have you heard of this this sin plant?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
sin
plant
plant.
is-
thing's been around for a while.
I don't know
plant
how
is
to use
cool.
it, but I use it all the time.
There is
It
no-
sounds like shit.
There is
but
no way to use it.
It's cool.
You just
Sin
click it.
plant is sick, dude. Fuck, I forgot. I literally have that. I haven't touched it in like a year.
Mine never
I gotta
worked.
fucking bring that up.
My demo version never worked.
Oh.
I couldn't get the demo version to work.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of VPSTs, let's narrow it down a little bit. What's your go-to compressor for most things?
I'll just use the Ableton stock, honestly. Honestly,
yeah.
I use
go.
the limiter to compress my shit. But the multiband dynamics in Ableton are cool too. But yeah, I'll just sometimes limit to compress some of my stuff. That's usually does the trick for me. But
yeah, just hard fucking.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, clipping, limiting. Fab Pro C. Or does Pro Q count?
No.
Can I count Pro Q? Okay, Pro and B.
Yeah.
yeah, that shit's sick.
And MB is sick.
I'll go
Pro
NB.
C.
Yeah, I do see as well. Although I've been using the Bitwig dynamics control.
Mm.
And that was pretty good because it's got an up and a down. So you can,
Nice.
so you can
nice.
control each one separately. And all the knobs are tiny and cute, so it's kind of fun to use.
Love
And it's got cute little displays and everything. It's kind of adorable. You don't have to open it up. It's just there, and everything's all cute.
Adorbs.
Sick.
UHE press work, John says.
Oh, yes.
What?
The
Oh,
press
you
work.
were
Sounds
showing me
sick.
this the other day,
Oh, the
John.
Yuhi stuff. I'm so
The Yuhi's
jealous.
just good.
I'm gonna buy that
Yuhi?
one day. I want what is the grain one? The UHG.
Ubik.
Ubik
Those
G.
are.
Yeah.
Are those the same ones?
Yeah.
I
The
think they
Ubik is
are,
by
yeah.
Yuhi. Or yeah, Yuhi I think is how you say it. I don't know.
I think
What do
I
you
have
say
press work. I need to fuck with that, actually. Thanks for reminding me,
Press work.
John.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
Never.
John was showing him to... Yeah, I do have it. Yeah. I can show it to you.
Yeah.
It's sick as fuck.
Let's go.
It fucking does a really good job of auto leveling
Musical.
as you
soul.
change shit in the compressor, so you can really get a good idea of
It's interesting.
what you're actually doing instead of like it getting louder and quieter the whole time. I
Non-linear.
think that's what that was. Am I right, John?
That's cool.
It looks good.
It does actually look pretty solid, yeah.
The interface
Oh, yeah.
is the whole thing.
Auto makeup. Yeah,
Mid-side?
that auto makeup is the thing.
Mid-side compression.
Mid-side's nice.
It's cool.
Always a great option. I love
Yes.
Always.
having that on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I need to fucking just drop that on shit more.
Right.
I'm gonna do that soon.
But
Very
before
nice,
then,
very
folks, last question.
Oh,
last
last
right.
question.
Second to last, excuse me.
Oh.
I got ahead of myself. Favorite venue to play in?
Favorite venue to play in?
Yeah.
He wrote it.
That's a fine
Okay.
question. What's
All right.
wrong with that question?
I mean, you can't even answer that question.
I know, it was for you three. I play the living room. It's a pretty sick spot.
So far.
It's new.
I like it when
What's that?
I like it when the the hairy dudes are laying in front of the black box subwoofers. Like that's pretty cool. Actually,
Bring it back.
So we're in Colorado, and some of my favorite shows have been Renegades out in the mountains in the forest. So like open air, like does Earth
There you go.
count as a venue? Like,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
playing outdoors,
answer.
sending the sound miles down the canyon. That's pretty
That's-
special to me.
That's fucking sick.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good answer.
That's a Midwest
Yeah.
boy.
I will count. We will count
yeah.
that answer.
Yes, sir.
All right, my favorite venue to play is Everest, Mount Everest.
Jesus. Oh, I missed that show.
Legend.
It's my
Legendary.
favorite. It's my favorite.
I missed that show. I was sick. It was a bummer.
Let's get on. My favorite venue then is the Mariana Trench. The lowest point of Earth.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Deep.
It's
Good choice.
VIP
That
only.
is deep, dude.
Yeah.
So far that I've played, the sound was trash, but we could have tuned it better. Was the first Night Rinse show.
Yeah, at that warehouse.
The warehouse, yeah.
That was a fun spot.
I liked
That was
a
that
pretty fun
spot.
show.
It was a good spot. It was a good space.
It was cool. That was just a
Some
random
nice
warehouse they
Yeah,
rented,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. That was cool.
Those are sometimes the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of uppity, and there were way too many people with LA hats. But what are you gonna do? It's fucking rough out there in the electronic universe. There's just way too many.
Well, could be rain,
Right.
and you gotta wrestle your fucking
Right.
horse up anytime soon.
Don't worry, honey. Good thing I got my wide brim
It's all
hat.
good. I also got my Tommy gun here.
Just so you know, I have no idea how to change a tire, though. This is just an illusion. I actually live in the city.
Mm-hmm. We need a little outlaw sound effect that. For this one instance in the first time in 2 years.
Exactly. It was an awful.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, right?
It's hard.
I'm going to start asking this at the end of each one of these
Oh.
rapid fires.
Okay.
But your opinion, lights or lasers?
Oh, that's a good one.
I love lasers.
Fuck yeah,
I think we need to incorporate
Let's
a
go.
I love lasers.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah, don't we?
I love when I love when the
Lasers.
house goes on or when the show goes on for like an hour and a half, and then they turn on
Yes.
the lasers. That is like the best
Yeah.
moment of every. You say, I saw him back there.
Yeah.
Wondering when you're gonna use them, and then they do it, and it goes.
I feel
and-
like the question should actually be screen or lasers.
Yeah.
Or lights, lasers, or LED.
Or
Get
just
3.
visuals or
Lights, I feel like, is just gonna happen.
Right.
There's always lights.
visuals
fair.
or lasers.
That's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
LEDs.
Well, then
Visuals
let's ask again. Visuals or lasers?
Visuals.
Lasers
Yes.
always.
Lasers
Give
all
me a
day.
high
five.
Lasers
Lasers
all day.
I don't like the
Goddamn right.
LED
neither.
screen. We're not supposed to be like looking in one place, but wherever you look, the lasers are gonna be.
I
you
know,
So
dude.
Yes.
Although I
Goddamn
make
right.
3D visuals.
I know,
And I
right?
think they're fun, but like I don't. It's like a TV, and I can't help but just stare at the TV. The moment the TV's on,
exactly.
You're sucked
like
in.
I can't help it. It's so bad.
We all do it.
I hate it.
See, I love the LED screens because there's a lot more like diversity of what you can do. But something about the lasers just being in 3D space above you, like that's hard to
Right,
top, right? It's hard to
Yeah,
top.
we,
Until we get like AR stuff where, dragons are flying around you, I might have to go
Oh,
lasers.
that'll be fun.
That'll be
that'll be
insane,
fun.
right?
Yeah,
So
we've
excited.
talked about it a couple times before. We saw Ivy Lab, and they did a audio visual set,
Right.
and then they did a DJ set. And when they did the DJ set, it was just the logo,
Yeah, and the
just
house lights
spinning on the
basically.
screen, and just like a low light logo, and they just fucking everybody just went ham.
Yeah, it was just a party.
It was so fucking.
It was
sick.
so sick.
Well,
The
you saw-
whole screen. It was huge.
It was a massive screen
Yeah.
with just a logo in the middle spinning.
Yeah, it was like a movie screen.
Never changed.
Because before that, they had a whole movie happening, and like there were no lights. It was very specific. And then they're like, "All right, let's party." And they're just
Yeah.
like, "No, don't worry about the screen. The screen was for earlier."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
No,
listen
Now
to
it's
the
just the
tunes.
background.
That's a
Now
good
it's just-
move.
Yeah, it's so sick.
I feel like the next thing is going to be these like drone shows, like this big Millennium
Oh,
show
I know,
just
I know.
happened, and
Right.
like they did it at Coachella. They've been doing it for years, but like these, fleets of drones.
Right.
2,000 drones making
Yeah.
shapes in the sky.
Pretty sick.
It's
Right.
sick. I like it. It's not as cool as lasers,
Right.
I agree.
But
I agree.
True.
but it's
Give
cool.
each
It's still cool.
True.
Still cool.
hang with me. Give each one of those
I know.
drones.
Oh, a laser.
Lasers.
Drone lasers.
Folks,
Oh. Drone lasers.
We hit the jackpot on
we're
this
gonna leave
episode,
you
actually.
on that note.
Oh my.
Yeah,
What a
you can
beautiful
steal that idea, by the way.
Please.
That is a fully stealable idea.
Someone start doing that.
just invite us to the thing.
Yes.
We just want to come see it.
Yeah, put us on the guest list. We'll buy drinks. We'll bring all the friends. Don't
Right.
worry. You'll get your money out of us.
We just did like almost an hour and a half.
Oh shit, we did.
go.
Look
Wow,
at us
that flew
go.
by.
Fucking Mick, it was a pleasure having you on, my
Yo,
man.
so good being here. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Dude, right?
Thanks for having me. It's an
yeah,
honor.
this was a good one.
Do you have
This was a fun
anything to
one.
shout out to the people? Any new events or shows or music?
Promotional items.
You got anything?
Yeah, I guess, the social media at Mick Jeets is how you find me pretty much everywhere. Got some sick music coming out in July that I'm stoked for you to see. If you follow me on that social media, you'll see, you'll see those releases coming out.
Let's go.
Just excited to be meeting people that like
Fuck yeah.
cool shit and expanding the scene and talking nerdy with music. Like my girlfriend, she says, I don't care about your favorite compressor, and I'm like, no, why, babe? It's so cool. It's like, so it's a breath of fresh air that you guys are doing this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you just talking to her about a limiter? That might have been why she was confused.
This could be it. Could be it.
You need to tell her the good news of L2.
Yeah, it's great that, man. We're,
this press hawking or whatever. Yeah.
Right. We're happy to be here with you to fucking nerd
Thank
out
you.
about it.
Yes,
we're
I love
more
it.
than
Thank
happy.
you so much. This
Thank y'all.
is great.
We'll have you back on here.
Yes.
This will happen again.
Oh,
Love to
yeah,
have you back.
dude.
Let's fucking go, everybody.
All right, chat. Thank you for being here. TikTok, thank you for being here. Everyone, go follow Mick Jeets. Homie slaying it.
Bye, Meatbag Selector.
Bye, Meatbag. Bye,
Later.
John. Bye, always 400 in chat.